all you collector car fans out there. This is Jason, the owner and founder of Southern Woods Motorsports. Thanks for coming by to check out another Tales from the Bush. I just wanted to give a little bit of a shout out. I've started a Patreon page. I really would appreciate your contributions. I don't like all these ads on here, and I want to get away from monetization so we can enjoy these ads and actually, or enjoy these Tales from the Bush. And unfortunately, I can't afford to keep going. It's just, I have hundreds and thousands of these pictures that I want to share, and it's so frustrating because they're forcing me to monetize. Not really forcing, but, yes, I used to have a lot of money, but now I definitely don't. I'm just trying to keep my head above water right now, and you joining in Patreon and contributing each month is really going to help me keep going, and that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to seem like I'm begging for money, but your help would definitely be appreciated. This Tales from the Bush was a really interesting story. I stumbled across this guy by doing one of my patterns, which my patterns is I've had a mapping system inside my conversion van, these specialized camper vans that I had made up. And basically it would leave a blue trail behind me, so I would basically just go out into the middle of nowhere, turn it on, and start mapping out places and finding cars. And this was a place that I found. The guy was hesitant at first, but he saw that I was pretty sure what I was doing. This was an official use Charger used by the military. It was the special order vehicle. And the craziest thing about this place is that the whole property was full of these type of vehicles. I took a lot of pictures of this one because it was the only one that had a lot of paperwork. These were not fancy big block cars or anything like that. These were military vehicles that were used by the military in South Carolina, I think I was at. And there was so much paperwork, it was amazing. But these cars were super clean, super solid, super dry. And I am going to apologize, for some reason I don't have any pictures of the interior of this car. But you definitely get the gist of what this car was. I mean, talk about a survivor, talk about untouched, talk about a car that never had anything done to it. That was an untouched car. So did I buy this car? No, I didn't, because there was a couple other cars there that I wanted. And, when you're out in the field and you're doing this, sometimes you have to make really crappy choices where it's like, I know I should have bought this car. 100% I know I should have bought this car. But there was a 68 440 Charger that had precedence. I needed to get that car. Because one of the things that I noticed when I was out in the field is that when you find these collections, these guys that hoarded cars, most of the time they didn't have a lot of money. They just were smart enough to hoard these cars. But when you put 10, 20 grand in their hand, now all of a sudden they don't give a crap. They don't want to sell any more cars. So you really have to be careful on what you do. It's like when you go into a place and you see a bunch of cars, you really got to buy everything. You got to put all the money in their hands right away, because if you just buy one car, nothing's for sale after that for another year. And it gets really frustrating. This fellow was a prime example of that. Super nice guy, but when I bought that 68 Charger and I think I paid $7,500 for the car. It was a little rough, but it was what it was. When I called him back, he's like, I don't know if I really want to sell anything else. Are you kidding me, bro? And it was literally the same thing every time. This guy ended up calling me back about 3 months later when his money ran out. But, it's just frustrating. So you just get in tune with it and you know what to do. But this car was so solid and so untouched. I don't know how he got a hold of this car. I don't know how he got a hold of all the cars on the property. And again, I apologize for not having any interior pictures. I know I took them, I just don't know where they are. But we're going to get into some other cars that were on the property, because there was a lot of stuff here. This guy was way out in the boondocks of South Carolina. He had no intention of selling everything, didn't expect me to show up. Look at that 71 Roadrunner. I believe that car was a 383 car. I'm sure everyone's going to correct me when they look at the engine pictures, but this bad boy was pretty solid. It was rough, but it was pretty solid. There was nothing that had been taken off that car. Been messed around with a little bit, but at the end of the day, I want to call it a survivor car because really nobody had messed with this car. It was completely untouched. You can see it. There's no BS to it. There's no story to it. Anything that was taken off the car was sitting in the trunk right there. You can see it right there. But, I mean, even the quarters on it weren't too bad. Considering how bad these 71s were rotted out, it was pretty darn solid. But, you know, look at the interior. It had that special insert. It just, you know, these cars have been out there for years and years and years, and things get done to them, and shit happens. And, you know, it's got the 150 mile an hour gauge, RPM gauge. Looks like it was an automatic car. A full interior on it. God, these cars were just so rough. But, you know, I saved this car. I'm going to save this car. I can't remember if I bought this car or not, but I saved these cars. That's worth saving. You know, you're talking about a lot of money, a lot of time, but this car is worth it because it was a complete numbers matching car. Yes, she's a little rough, but she's also pretty solid, and everything was there. I mean, ashtray, console, seats, everything was there. Boy, she is rough, but you definitely save this car. There's no question about it. And this guy had so many cars on this property, and they were all military use vehicles. I really don't know how he got a hold of it. There's a different 71 Charger. Got smacked really hard in the front end. But, you know, it's a steel frame. You can pull the frame out. But look at the car spread out. There's the engine on it. I mean, that's an untouched car. There's nothing done to that car. It's rough. It's rotten. It's original. It's a survivor. Even this one. You restore this car. This is a car that you restore. Everything was there. Fender tag, all that stuff. There was actually some documentation. I didn't take pictures of it, but all these cars out there, I don't know if he had a connection to the military base or what, but good God, all these cars were military vehicles, and he saved them all. It was actually so frustrating being out there because these cars were so untouched. They were all survivors. They were all decently solid. They were all rough. They all needed a lot of work, but, you know, put yourself in my position where I really needed to take all of these cars with me. I was in super rural South Carolina. I was a long ways away from home. I had a one-car trailer, and it's like, damn it, if I don't give this guy money and show him that I'm for real, I'm not going to get any of these cars. So I bought that 68 Charger. I think pictures later will show it sitting on my trailer. And then I waited for him to call me back like they always do when they burned up the money I gave them. And they called me back about this car. And who would think this car was even fancy? There was nothing fancy about this car. But you know what? It was solid. It was untouched. It was survivor. It was real. I fought so hard over the years to keep these pictures and to maintain Southern Bush Motorsports and to keep my identity where people wouldn't really know who I was, but I was out there doing all this work. And, you know, now we're 20 years later, 15, 20 years later. Well, the car's a little rough on that post there. I really need all the followers' help and all the people that are watching these videos. And I want to keep doing this because this is my life's work. Tales from the Bush was a book that I had actually written. It was suggested to me that I make YouTube because of the new technology. So this is what I've done. This will never end. I have millions of pictures, and it just will never end. But I really could use your support and Patreon on a monthly basis to keep me going, just so I don't have to walk out that door every day and work for somebody else. I mean, I can self-sustain myself. If nobody helps me, that's fine. I'm going to keep trying. I'm using a lot of old computer systems and stuff to do this, but I'll keep my head above water. But you know, let's do it for the whole cause of, you know, maintaining integrity in the old car collector business and having these pictures come out, because I really could use people's help. If you can do anything on Patreon, I would appreciate it. This is the 68 Charger that I saved. Yeah, it's rough. And it had a lot of work done to it. You can see in the background, look at all these cars. This guy had them spread out all over the place. I don't know if he was an old contractor that called in, but look at that 68 Charger. Tell me that bad boy isn't solid. This is why I stuck it on my trailer. And yeah, look, you can tell my trailer's all rough and that, but look at how solid this car is. There's an old military thing that was used, a little round red thing. I don't know if that was a police vehicle or not, but something looks weird about that driver's quarter, like it might have been fixed, but the car was super solid. I just couldn't leave it there because it was a 440 car. It might have been a police vehicle, I don't know, but look at you, yeah, that bad boy was rough. A lot of the stuff was in the trunk that was off the car, but I really appreciate everybody coming out and checking out all these tales from the bush, and trust me, we got a lot more coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and any of your contributions on Patreon, you'll get a shout out because I'll really appreciate it.